Ben, just with working with Yoshinobu, what have you learned from him, and what's just kind of has to be the key for you guys to navigate through their lineup tonight?
Yeah, Yoshi's been really fun to catch this past month. I think the main thing is just being solid in our game planning and just really staying on attack. And he does an extremely good job of filling up the zone and being able to get ahead of hitters, and that makes it a lot easier when we're able to accomplish that.
I know we've talked about just how this has been a whirlwind of an experience, but just for you personally, what does it mean to have kind of just these opportunities in the postseason, being behind the plate for these first 2 games of the wild card?
Yeah, I got this question asked yesterday. I'm sticking with the same answer. It's really cool. I'll take some time to reflect after this is all said and done, but this is way bigger than myself. We're playing for what's on the front, not on the back. Playing for everybody in that clubhouse, the city. So yeah, it's a lot easier when you have a group like that you're all pulling for.
Any questions for Ben? We'll go to Doug on your left, Ben.
Ben, this organization have had a lot of success in bringing guys in and helping them realize their potential and take them to the next level. Has this organization done that for you, and just if so, how?
Yeah, they've instilled confidence in me, kind of on what they like seeing in me and the things I can improve early on. Instilled a lot of confidence and had a lot of direction in my game. So that's been really cool to get that kind of feedback. And then also with the type of personnel I have in this clubhouse, it's really easy to watch, learn, and get a lot of experience from those guys. So.
And your offensive numbers have doubled from Tampa Bay to here. What's been the biggest difference for you at the plate?
Yeah, beginning of the season was really tough for me. I think I was trying to be someone I wasn't. Just taking that time to reset and really see what kind of player I want to be and trying to take that on the field. Try not to do too much and just really try to play my job, do my role, and turn the baton over to the next guy.
Go to Jack in the second row.
Have you had a scouting report on Zach Littell you've been able to share with the guys in there?
Yeah, we get a lot of information on day in, day out. So there's a lot of stuff that you already get to see, but just knowing Zach, he's going to pitch to his strengths. He's going to go for weak contact and get chased when he gets it, but it's just got to stay within ourselves. Can't chase him around the zone. He's got 3 fastballs, so yeah, it's going to be a good one tonight.
Any questions? I'll go to the first row here, and then Sonia. Kevin?
Thanks for your time. About 6 weeks ago, you didn't think you'd be here today. It's kind of cool, but you're learning the pitchers now, and you talked about game planning. You go into a game with a plan. But when things start to go off the rails a little bit, with you still getting to learn some of these pitchers, what's that process like where you try to get them to calm down and they try to show confidence in you? Is it a difficult balance still?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but I think the main thing is that the guys in that clubhouse have such good stuff that we should be leaning on our strengths more than anything. We're confident in who we are. Those guys are confident in what they have, and you shouldn't shy away from that.
This is going to be kind of a variation on this question, and I'm sure you're used to it by now, but getting up to speed quickly with a pitching staff, getting used to guys and learning what works for some guys and doesn't work for others. What's the key to being able to do that and to get up to speed as quickly as you have?
Yeah, I mean, it's trial and error. When things are going well, it's easy. I think when stuff hits the fan, it's tough, but also you learn a lot. So it's good for you to go through those times, those trial and errors, and you learn a lot from them. You take things out of the failures, you take things out of the wins, but I think you learn more from kind of like the chaos and being in it. You learn about who you are, kind of what it takes, and what you need to do to get out of that stuff. So,
Third row on your right, Sonia.
Ben, over the time that you've been with this team, you kind of have seen them round into form a little, finishing out September strong. Was there something that you noticed just that kind of allowed the focus to be better or the quality of play to improve?
Yeah, I think everyone just kind of feels in the air that October's coming. Everyone's getting excited. Everyone wants to play good baseball, kind of rallying around each other. It's really fun to see.
Well, good news is, of course, we know you're back in the lineup today. Dave Roberts had shared you were experiencing some back tightness. When did this start, and just kind of how are you feeling?
Started when I was on load management all year, and then I had to play the last 4 games of the season, and then I played again. Now, first ground ball I took during BP yesterday, it kind of locked up on me. And then, I wouldn't have come out of the game, but since we took the big lead, it took Thomas 2 innings to convince me to come out. So, I guess first inning didn't work out, and the second he came back, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll come out.
Claudia right here, Kiké.
Kiké, tengo 2 preguntas. La primera, has vivido muchos octubres con los Dodgers. ¿Qué tiene de especial este año?
Lo mismo de todo. Estamos aquí. No muchos equipos tienen la dicha de poder jugar en los playoffs y estamos aquí una vez más. Tenemos una oportunidad bien grande de repetir algo que no se ha hecho en mucho tiempo y estamos aquí aceptando el reto.
La segunda es fuera del diamante. Sabemos que te encanta la música de Bad Bunny. En este mes de la herencia hispana, ¿qué te emociona más de ver a un artista latino como él brillando en el show de medio tiempo del Super Bowl?
Súper orgulloso de que está poniendo a Puerto Rico en alto. Benito ha hecho muchas cosas súper grandes por Puerto Rico. Nos ha puesto en el mapa y obviamente con su residencia pues creó muchos trabajos, ayudó mucho al turismo de Puerto Rico y como siempre poniendo a Puerto Rico en alto y súper orgulloso de que sea de la islita de nosotros.
Any questions? Yes, sir. We'll get you the microphone.
You guys attacked Hunter Green very well last night. Did you guys have any specific game plan against Green's fastballs or sliders, if you can tell?
It kind of went the opposite of how our plan was. Our plan was to be on the fastball. He threw a season low percentage of fastballs last time he pitched against us, so we thought that this time around he was going to come attack us with more fastballs. So the plan was to hit the fastball, and he made some mistakes with the sliders, and we made him pay for it.
Other questions for Kiké? Yes, we'll get you the microphone.
Kiké, siendo un jugador que ha dejado muy buenos números en postemporadas y que es algo de lo que se habla, tanto fanáticos como la media, ¿cómo haces tú para manejar esta situación? ¿Sientes alguna presión? ¿Cómo manejar las expectativas?
A veces he dicho que sí, que crea un poquito de presión en el sentido de las expectativas y todo eso, pero tal vez eso es antes del juego. Ya una vez yo me paro en el terreno y empieza el juego, yo no estoy pensando en eso, estoy pensando en concentrarme en el picheo que se está jugando en ese momento y más nada que eso, porque ahora la verdad es la misma pelota de siempre y gracias a Dios he tenido la dicha de participar en muchas postemporadas y tengo mucha experiencia y eso es algo que siempre ayuda.
Good. Third row.
Yoshinobu was kind of talked about the conversation you had with him last October, just about getting the confidence back in him before Game 5. What differences do you sort of see year to year in Yoshinobu? How much more confident does he look this year?
He looks, obviously, the answer, it answered itself by looking at the season he had. He just seems like the guy that knows what he's doing on the mound and not trying to see who he is. He's not trying to figure out who he is. He knows who he is, and he's attacking. He has a game plan, and he's executing. Man, his command is impeccable, and hopefully he's that way tonight. But last year it was a little bit of he was trying to adjust to the league when you don't need to adjust to a league you haven't failed at. And this year it's just I'm gonna go with my game plan. I'm gonna throw my game, and I'm gonna let itself play out. And that's what he's done all year. And he had a great year.
Right up front, Kirsten.
The feel amongst the group has just been it's about the final 6 weeks, how you guys closed out the regular season, and of course looking into October for a deep postseason run. As you guys go into this one tonight, what is the feel just amongst the group looking to close out this wild card?
I can only answer for myself, but they have a very young, hungry, talented team on the other side, and we gotta get on top early, and we gotta keep adding on to the lead. I feel like last night maybe they feel like even though they lost, they might feel like they regained the momentum by scoring a couple of runs at the end of the game. But we just gotta go on the attack early and let Yoshi do his thing on the mound, and hopefully we can put some runs on the board for him, and hopefully we can close this thing out tonight because a lot of us could use the extra day off.
Go to the second row, Kiké, Jack.
The team has talked so much about how much they trust you when you get to October. When you go through a year where you're dealing with injuries and other stuff, like, does that kind of help knowing that, you just kind of have to figure it out at some point, and that when you get to this spot, if you're feeling good, like, the opportunity is going to be there when you're kind of building up to it?
Yes and no. I mean, I wasn't really sure if I was going to be playing, like, what role I was going to be taking part of. It wasn't until Muncie went down 4 days before the season ended that I was able to consistently play against right-handed pitching. And I know they brought me here for these type of moments. Sucks that for 162 games it didn't go well, but once we get here, it doesn't really matter. The beautiful thing about the postseason is that once we get to the postseason, everything starts at zero, and nothing really matters about the 162, because if you can have a bad year, and you flip the script and you start over in the postseason, you have a good season, good postseason, help the team win, we win it all, and nobody remembers what you did in the regular season. Everybody remembers what happened in the playoffs, and it could also happen the other way around. You can have a great season and have a bad postseason, and people are going to talk about how bad it went in the postseason. Nobody really cares about what happened in the regular season. So for me, it was just, trying to stay ready, trying to figure out a way to stay ready. And whenever my name was called upon, and it happened a little earlier than I thought this time around.
We'll stay right there, Kiké, on the left.
Kiké, there was a lot of highs and lows in September from that trip in Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and then Clayton announcing his retirement. How did everything in September bond the team together?
I mean, September felt like it was kind of the whole year, It was just up and down. We were very inconsistent, and it was all about trying to survive and get to the postseason. And then once the postseason started, forget about the regular season and understand who we are as a group, and understand that everybody's coming for us. We have a target on our back, so we had to play like it. At times, it felt like we were kind of checked out during the regular season, and here we are now, and these are the games that really matter. So it was, I think, experience and age has a lot to do with it. We have a lot of young guys, but I think we have a very salty team as far as the age, especially the position players side of it. So we have a lot of experience. We know that it's not that easy to turn it on and off, but we just need to find a way. And here we are. We found a way last night, and hopefully we can find a way tonight.
Seated far in the back, Kiké. Bill?
Yeah, Kiké, how much pride do you take in that reputation as being a good October player, and what are some of the things that make a player good in October?
Getting hits. Reputation feels great. I've been blessed to be on the right team at the right time. Being a good postseason player is kind of an individual thing, but not really. You're on a team that doesn't make the playoffs. You can't be a postseason player. I just happen to be on a lot of really good teams, and I've been fortunate enough to get a lot of chances, and things have gone my way. But like I've said before, I've also had some postseasons where it hasn't gone my way, and it feels terribly. You go to the off season and you think about it over and over, but reputation is a reputation. Whatever, I embraced it, so hopefully I keep getting hits.
Standing far back on the right, Kiké. Do a couple more. Doug up front.
And Kiké, Andrew said yesterday that your October history was a big factor in bringing you back here. Just from like a mindset standpoint, just how do you handle those expectations of just kind of being one of the best postseason players of your generation?
The hardest thing to do is taking it one day at a time, but the reality is you're only living today, and what was done yesterday is already paid for. It's already done, and nothing matters but today. So you just try to take it one day at a time, and then once the game starts, you try to take it one pitch at a time. During a game, you never know which run is going to win you a game, and in the postseason, I feel like you never know which pitch is going to win you a game. So I think that mindset of taking it one day at a time, one pitch at a time, is the one that allows me to, quiet the noise and, do what I have to do.
And you mentioned on a podcast that that moment you had with Rich Hill before the Cubs series where you hit the 3 home runs. Have you tried to impart that on any of your teammates to try to kind of make them feel more comfortable in the postseason, just kind of inspire them a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of part of understanding what your role is within a clubhouse, within a locker room. And even though I feel like I'm still 12 years old, I also understand that I'm one of the veteran guys and one of the older guys. So, it's just finding a way to recognize who needs the pep talk or whatever it is they need, and picking and choosing the right time to do it. So yeah, I've had my moments with certain teammates, and it's just part of your role within the locker room.
Dave, I know we've talked at length about Yoshinobu and what he's been able to do and achieve this season, but what did you learn from him from the postseason last year, how then he entered into this regular season, and what prepares him for just this game and really big moments, hopefully, this postseason?
I think what I learned is, he prepares very well, very intentional with his preparation. I learned that the moment isn't too big for him, any moment. I learned that, he has the ability to make pitches when he needs to. He always seems like the best option. And yeah, I think that if you're talking about a player from last year to this year, I'd probably say he's number one on the growth chart, considering, coming over here and trying to get his feet wet, trying to learn the culture, the game, the hitters, create a routine for himself to then, be a really big game pitcher.
I see you near the back, Bill.
Yeah, Dave, what did the 8th inning do as far as making you rethink your bullpen?
I just, looking back at it, I think that Alex is a guy I'm always going to trust. I think that he's earned that, and just wasn't particularly sharp last night. I just think that it was one of the few times that we've seen Edgardo lose command, and the game sped up, in my opinion. And I think Jack, coming into that spot right there, it was a tough spot, but I liked the way he kind of settled in and continued to make pitches against Stevenson to then ultimately punch him and gets the pop-up from Ke'Bryan. So, I thought it was a good lesson for them, more so for Enriquez and Jack. But, I still, evaluating and, we learn from things. So I'm kind of there. I'm not really, saying much, but, you learn a lot from that inning.
Play our daily what-if game. What would it take to see Shohei come out of the bullpen tonight?
I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening.
Go to the second row.
Hey, Dave. The decision to go with Miggy Rowe at second over Tommy Edman, who homered last night, is it because of the ankle, or do you think Lodolo might come in later and there would be a lefty there so Miggy could face him?
It was more of the ankle. Just kind of Tommy's been, trying to battle to stay upright. And so, with Littell, I think he's a neutral guy. They certainly have Lodolo in the pen, and Martinez is going to be deployed, I'm sure, who's a reverse guy. So I don't think there's much cost. And also I feel that the defense is enhanced with Miggy.
Standing on the right corner, Dave.
Dave, Shohei has 3 homers all of last postseason and has 2 last night. Is it possible that in terms of meeting the moment, he learned something last year that kind of unlocked for him already in this postseason?
Yeah, I think so. I think that superstars always want to perform on the biggest stage. But you have to let the game come to you. And I think that last year, certainly early on, I felt that there was a little bit more chase in there, and appreciating the fact that teams aren't going to let them beat them. And when you can hone in your chase, to get into a count, which he did yesterday, to then get a pitch to hit, that's a result. I think he's had a great September as far as the chase, which has sort of prepared him for the postseason.
Go to Sonia in the third row on your right, Doc.
Dave, with the bullpen, are you still kind of figuring out who you can trust in leverage spots at this point, given that it's the postseason, a different situation than the regular season?
Yeah, I think that's, you know, you like them all, you trust them all to various degrees. And I think in the postseason, you have to go with, you know, ultimately who you feel best in that one spot. And so it's ever evolving. And I'm not going to be, can't be blind to performance and heartbeat and how guys respond to certain situations. So it's sort of a daily kind of conversation, you know, with the pitching coaches, the front office, and just kind of, and most importantly, what I see.
How aggressive do you think you might be with managing the pen tonight if you see an opportunity to close this one out?
I'm going to be, I would say I'd more put this game on Yoshinobu, appreciating that he's, for me, our best pitcher available today. Then you got to layer in on, you know, the stress of innings, the pitch count, and the swings they're taking, and how his stuff looks. To then, is there a better option? So, so I would say that I wouldn't probably be too aggressive, and and I don't really know which direction I'm going to go as far as who I deploy.
The third row, Dave, Fabian.
Yeah, Dave, you had Emmett up for a lot of that eighth inning. Didn't use him. Is that sort of just trying to figure out, like, if he can get up in that sort of spot, do you sort of trust him coming into a dirty inning? How much are you still trying to kind of figure out what he can do as a reliever for you?
Yeah, that was the situation where I think Jack had one more hitter, and Emmett was going to come into the game. So clearly I felt that if we needed him, he was going to pitch. So fortunately, he didn't have to come into the game, which I think is a benefit for tonight.
For a guy like him sort of tonight and going forward in this postseason, is he a guy you feel comfortable going back-to-back or using like a usual reliever?
You know, I've had conversations with Emmett, and this is the postseason. So I say yes. You know, whatever is called for him, he's ready and willing to do whatever is called for him.
Go to Doug.
And Dave, for Tommy, would he be available tomorrow if it would come down to a game 3, and he would be available in any capacity for tonight's game?
He's available off the bench, certainly, tonight. And if there is a game 3, yeah, he'll play.
Barry?
Hey, I've got a more of an esoteric question for you. With we've lost recently, Boch, Mel, Snitker isn't coming back. Wash, Buddy Black was fired during the middle of the season. It's kind of left you as like the highest ranking manager in the National League at this point.
Me and Cashy.
And Castle, you know, so what do you think about that? That as the whole time you've grown through, and what you've been through, and these guys are a lot of them you played for, and they were mentors of you.
They were all in different forms, mentors, and I've taken a piece of each one of those guys. I really have, and I'm very grateful for that. I think I've grown. I think I'm continuing to grow, want to grow, get better. They're great baseball men. They love the game of baseball, and they've impacted the game in a positive way. And I sort of feel that responsibility again to kind of keep what they started and guys before them started, to keep this thing going and make it about the players and the fans and do things the right way. But yeah, all great baseball men.
Do you look at this as kind of a normal evolution?
Yeah, I think so. It's just sort of all kind of coming at, you know, a changing of the guard, whereas, you know, guys have been around for a long time and you're getting some new blood, some new younger managers. Yeah, it's kind of the circle of life, I guess.
I'll take a last
What about that one?
take a last question in the second row.
So last one for me, Dave. If your bullpen guys, your regular guys, show you a little bit more what they showed yesterday, they don't have it that night or they're not commanding the zone, would you consider, whether it's Sheehan or Robleski or Roki, going 6 outs, 9 outs, bulk to finish off a game for you?
Yeah. Yes, I would.